Let's just take a breath, huh? Our theme this month is balance. My topic today is the choice to mirror harmony. The choice to mirror harmony. But I feel particularly inspired by that last song that you just sang, Stephen Walters, about if I build these walls, then I can take them down. If I build these walls, I can take them down. We forget that. We forget that if we build them, we can take them down. But we also forget that we have a responsibility to take them down because we built them. It's not just that I can, it's the only way they come down. Walls just don't disappear. They don't just dissolve. They go up brick by brick, and we take them down brick by brick. Whether it's walls of our heart, whether it's walls of the socio-political isms, doesn't matter what it is. They go up brick by brick, and we take them down brick by brick. I really want you to catch that, because sometimes we want it to just be over quickly, but we didn't get here quickly. We want to do affirmations for 4 weeks about stuff we've been carrying 40 years and wonder what's wrong with these affirmations. There's a line in Rolling River God, that song, where it says, time brings change, and change takes time. Time brings change, and change takes time. So what happens here is that what is spontaneous, so to speak, what's instantaneous is the revelation. What takes time is its fruition. And there's this gap between when we wake up and when our life mirrors the new revelation. There's always this kind of lag time in real life. It reminds me a little bit of the inchworm. You ever seen an inchworm? So when an inchworm goes along, all of a sudden the front part of its body makes this leap over, and it looks like an arch. So the middle part of its body is still like way up high, and that front part just stays there until the back part kind of slides and catches up. Are you with me? That's how most of us grow spiritually. We're like the inchworm. Our consciousness makes this big leap, and our butts all the way still back where we were before, and everything about our life kind of is up in transition. Doesn't really feel like it's touching anything solid in between. Do I have a witness? Kind of make this little leap out. And remember, everything that I say about how we are individually is also what happens collectively. It's also what happens collectively. We make these little leaps in collective consciousness. So you have both. There's that part of you that's forward, and there's that part of you that still has your butt back behind. And the middle of you is kind of hanging in between. So it is with people. So it is with collective consciousness. But it's one inchworm. Don't get mad at everybody else in society because they're not at the exact same spot that you are. It's one society, one people, one inchworm, but we're not all touching the same spot at the same time. Breathe that in for a second. You kind of look like deer in headlights. Just let that sink for a second. There tends to be this lag time in real time. I'm reminded of a discussion that I had, this was many years ago. I was new as a practitioner, I was still living in Los Angeles. And there was this guy that came to a workshop. I was having workshops at my house. And he explained how he had been arrested, for DUIs, I think like 3 times. And he wound up doing 90 days in county jail. But in between the last DUI and when he had to do time, he had dried out. He took the Science of Mind textbook with him into jail. And he read it from cover to cover in those 90 days. He made it this sanctuary for himself. And I remember what he said. He said, they thought they were punishing a drunk. But I wasn't that man anymore. He said, jail had my name on it because of what I had done before. But when I went into jail, I wasn't that person. Breathe that in for a moment. Sometimes we're fearing the consequence of actions past. Sometimes it's not fitting, and well, I'm not that person anymore. I've changed. Why is this still here? Why am I still going through this? Isn't my new revelation and my new state of awareness supposed to make all of this go away? Maybe. Maybe not. But who you are in it is different. And what you get out of it will be different. It will be redemptive. It'll be redemptive. See, to redeem is to buy it back. To redeem is to put some investment into something that makes it whole, that makes it complete. Even if you redeem a coupon, I used to work for Procter & Gamble, and we would flood the market with coupons. The only one that can give it any value is the one that issued it. It's like life is giving us these coupons all the time, but you got to turn it into the maker. You can only cash the coupon of life and the joy of life by taking it back to like the originator, like the creator of it. Life is redemptive. That's such an important word to understand harmony. See, most of us are punitive. We want to punish. When things happen, we want change. We want somebody to pay for it. We're pointing fingers and blame and shame and all of the rest of that. And I know I had to get up off of that. I used to really be into that a lot, particularly in my youth around social political stuff. And I didn't want anybody to get away with anything. And I had to learn nobody ever gets away with anything. Oh, no. It is a perfectly balanced universe. Now, I may not see it. I may not be around when it happens. But what I know is that the universe doesn't just put people in situations to make them suffer. That when the universe comes around and helps to correct the situation, it's redemptive so that everybody comes out whole. So that everybody comes out whole. See, theoretically, we do prison outreach here. Theoretically, the prison system is not supposed to be punitive. It's not. Technically speaking, it was the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. You catch that? What about just punishing people, throwing the key away? It's about something's off. Somewhere we've let you down along the way. Somewhere you didn't get the education. You didn't get the nurturance. You didn't get the sense of wholeness. You didn't get it along the way. So it's not just a do-over for you, it's a do-over for us in society to try to do right by you, to reclaim you, to reinvest, to bring you back into the fold, to help you get the education, the job training, the recovery services, the literacy training, like whatever that stuff is. Not to throw away the key, but so that you can come out and be productive. Not so that we can keep punishing you for the rest of your life for the mistakes that you made like we do now. It misses the whole point. We can't be operating that way collectively in our social justice system if we aren't doing that to ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves. Punishing ourselves. Looking for who to blame, trying to get rid of folks, trying to knock this one out. Balance. The choice to mirror harmony. Life has room for it all. Listen to what I'm saying. In life, there's room for it all. You don't find species trying to get rid of other species. They may eat them. But they're not trying to wipe them off the face of the earth. They're not trying to relocate them. Everybody but human beings is content to have everybody and everything where it is. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody else, all the other sentient beings, somehow understand I can't have a whole forest. I can't have a whole ocean. I actually saw this one day. I am not kidding. I want to say I was in Ghana. I can't remember, but I remember I was overseas. And there were a couple of kids that were siblings. I'd say the girl looked like she's maybe 11, the boy maybe 9. And the boy was just getting on her nerves. Not that he was really doing anything, but she was just very irritated by him. They had like a British kind of an accent. I'm not really sure like where they were from. And at one point, the girl stood there, like trying to block the brother from coming in, and she did like this. Stay out of my ocean. I was like, wow, wow, wow. I mean, just to even think of that. Wow, my ocean. Wow. We're not the only ones here. As human beings, we're not the only ones here. And everything else is more than we are. There's more ants than human beings. There's more of everything than what we are. The native populations, and I'm not saying it didn't happen on other continents, but we're here in the continent of North America. Through North America, through Central America, through South America, whether they were in the plains, whether they were by the ocean, the mountains, the valleys, deserts, it didn't matter. There was a cosmology of living in harmony and balance as compared to other parts of the world. So much so that they didn't leave traces of themselves. They lived in so much harmony, they didn't leave traces of themselves. They didn't leave economic debris. They didn't leave a lot of building obsolescence where you could see for like thousands of years this stuff that we're still negotiating, which gives the illusion to too many people that nothing's ever happened on this land. That it's free land, we're the first ones here. There's an honoring that needs to happen of a consciousness that lives in harmony. Part of the Western mindset that we have gotten into is about legacy. It's about leaving something behind. In Buddhism, they will spend a month maybe building the most intricate mandalas, and out of sand or whatever. I mean, really, 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 really beautiful. And then you know what they'll do? They'll dance on it. Just dance all over it to show the impermanence of life. We first got into prison outreach by this guy named Bruce Bickham, who passed away, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago by now. And the Imam Michael Salam, who the two of them brought us in, the Imam and I officiated his service. And they had this beautiful, beautiful exercise. I'd never been in anything like this before in a memorial. It was just gorgeous. They created this human mandala. So they had a big, huge sand pit that was on the pulpit. And everybody was given a little cup of glitter. And the glitter was different colors. And there were like a couple hundred people. And we came up one by one and just did designs with our various colors. It was just beautiful. It was just exquisite. And I can't tell you how much I struggled with myself, because you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to take a picture. I so wanted to take a picture. And I didn't. because I knew that was contrary to what the whole point was. So after a while, it was like on this big, heavy tarp cloth thing, they took that and poured it all into this big basin so that all the colors mixed together. And then you took your little jar and you went into the big basin, and everybody went home with some of that, which was the collection of all the colors. This perfect harmony. Each of us had made an individual contribution to the whole, but none of our individual contributions was decipherable anymore because we had so blended in to the whole. Are we content enough to be part of that process of the blending? Or is it so necessary for our specific contribution to be able to be seen and appreciated? How often do we feel shortchanged when we're not acknowledged for our little piece along the way? And even take love and support. The evidence of that is how much my particular piece is seen or acknowledged. Even our inner sense of having created to the whole and the joy of knowing that we have created to the whole is not enough. I'm not saying that we don't say thank you. What I am saying is that our attachment to our individualization gets in the way of our experiencing the blend of the harmony. That the need for that individualization and that need to freeze frame, this has really gotten to be something for us in this society. And I notice it, and I have to notice it in myself, how often I'm actually trading the presence of the moment to try to get a picture of it to show somebody later. Are you with me? Not even fully being really in it. I remember the last time that really hit me at the Revelation Conference last April at the Agape Center. It's a long story, but I wound up being early for the Sunday service in the meditation part. And I was sitting there by myself, and I usually don't do that. I usually go in and pray in with Beckwith and the rest of the crew. But something said, go there. And I'm seated about 30 seconds, and people walk over to me, some of the head ushers, and they say, Cicely Tyson is on her way in, and we're sitting her next to you. We're sitting her next to you for you to like look after her. Like, oh my God. And they barely got it out their mouth, and there she was. And there she was. And because it was a service and the sit down, up, down, and all of that, and I must have been holding her hand like 10 times or something throughout the service. It was a bucket list moment, I'm telling you. She's like 92 and looks good. But I can remember those moments of, is somebody getting a picture of this? Listen to what I'm saying. Is somebody getting a picture of this? And going, you know what? Whether there's ever a picture or not, you're sitting next to Cicely Tyson. Why are you worried about what somebody else is going to say? You're sitting next to Cicely Tyson. Holding her hand. think about the implications of this for your life. We sometimes put our life off on a layaway plan. The topic is the choice to mirror harmony. See, a mirror is not the same as a photograph. A photograph is capturing the past. And too many of us are looking at the photograph of our life. Listen to what I'm saying. It's like that inchworm thing that I was talking about in the beginning. The photograph is where you had been. The mirror is reflecting moment to moment to moment. So we have this challenge where my internal mirror is starting to reflect the divine. I can see my growth, my possibility. I can see my transformation. I can see my contribution. I can feel the abundance. And I've got this photograph of my butt. Still stuck back here. That doesn't seem to quite reconcile. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Which you going to pay more attention to? Are you going to let your life be a mirror of the beauty and the majesty of the divine that's with you and around you all the time? Or is our life going to be this continuous photograph that's constantly looking back? There's even a story about this in the Bible, about Lot's wife. It says she was looking back and turned into a pillar of salt. Looking back crystallizes us in former states of consciousness. Constantly looking back. But when we're at the mirror, and see, we've got to clean off our mirrors. Because the mirror can only reflect what it sees. What are we looking for? What are you seeing? Are you mirroring the inharmony? Are you mirroring the divisiveness? Is that what you're mirroring right now? If somebody's looking in your mirror, do they see the news? Or do they see the new you? What's showing up in your mirror? And it's so wonderful because when I said the consciousness is instantaneous, that's how the mirror is. If you have on a jacket, it'll mirror back to you every step of the way. There is no lag time in the mirror, baby. There is no lag time in the mirror. The mirror is keeping up with you right here, right now. Dare. Stop looking for who you are in the eyes of other people. Stop looking for yourself there. They can't mirror back to you your majesty. Most of us are trying to get unconditionally loved by people who don't even love their own selves. I'm serious. We're trying to get acceptance from people who don't even accept themselves. Their judgment, they're critical of their own selves. So how are they going to be loving towards you? And that's all right, because it's not our job to remake and to remold things. Put it on the altar. God will redeem it. When God redeems it, everybody's whole. When God redeems it, everybody comes out on the other side. Do you have the willingness and the desire to put the mirror of life up there. Not just the mirror of politics, the mirror of the news, the mirror of the photograph of my life, but the mirror of the pure potential of the divine that's always shining. And a mirror leaves nothing out. A mirror doesn't go, you know what? I don't think I want to reflect that. That's not my good side. I'm not going to show that. There's room enough for all of it. And that's where the harmony comes. I don't want to leave you with this. I'm not even sure like what page or what section it was, but I was reading this morning Jack Kornfeld's Path of the Heart. And I just kind of flipped it open. And he was talking about different kind of Buddhist meditation practices. And he was describing what it means to get into a place of freedom in meditation. And I feel like he said it so exquisitely. So this is a very poor paraphrasing, but hopefully you get the point. He was saying that the freedom comes not so much when all those outer things go away. The freedom comes when we can be with it and not be triggered. The freedom comes when we can feel all those feelings, see all that stuff, and not be overwhelmed. When we can be present with it all and not change how we're showing up because of some feeling that's come up. Do you catch what I'm saying here? If we take this even to social, political stuff, we're wanting to be free from stuff. We're wanting it to just go away. But it's not even going to begin to go away until we can rise to the point where we stop thinking less of ourselves because of it. I'm going to say that again. The stuff won't go away if we have a negative attachment to it. It won't go away if we're still allowing it to define us and to tell us who we are or what we are about. It's like, get out of my way so I can feel better about myself. Get out of my way so we can be whole. Get out of the family so we can be a family again. No. It's when I can sit with it all. You are really acting like a jerk right now. And you're my brother. And I love you anyway. And there's no amount of jerkdom that is going to make me forget that I'm your sister. When I can get to that point, his jerkdom may even change. Are you with me? Because it's in the presence of unconditional acceptance and loving that people are able to shift. We lose all moral authority with people who can feel our contempt. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. said. To be in harmony is to be able to be with it all and stay woke. To stay woke. Things will change according to how the divine needs it to change. You just make sure you keep doing your own work. You keep doing your own work and allow everything else to be infused with this awareness of the mirror. You want to know who you are? Look to the eyes of God, not the eyes of a people. The eyes of God will tell you you are whole, you are perfect, you are beautiful, you are powerful, you are magnificent, just the way you are. And you can't stay that way. Let us pray. As we take a breath, we express gratitude. Thank you. Thank you to the great I am. Thank you to the Holy of Holies. Thank you to the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. To all of the elements, the earth and the fire, the water and the air. Thank you to the Pachamama herself, all the sentient beings. Thank you to all of the ancestors and spirits carnate and incarnate all around us. We say thank you for consciousness, for choice. Thank you for healing, for growth, for transformation. Thank you for the freedom. The freedom to make a choice about what we feel. The freedom to choose what we see, even in the midst. This is a prayer of alignment. This is a prayer of harmony. This is a prayer of balance. We lay down the photo journal. We lay down the if I woulda, coulda, shoulda. We lay down the tyranny of our own timetable. We lay it at the altar. The hopes, the dreams, the desires, the visions, the fears, the worries, the concerns, attachments. We lay them all down. And whatever it is, it's been a matter on our heart. It's this or something better. If there's something we've been holding in our mind, we know that it's just a small picture. It's a representation of the greatness and the grandeur of possibility. We hang on to the possibility. And we have the courage to open up wide and say, have thine own way. Divine order, right action in every area of my life. We can't see. We don't always know what's best. But I know there's right, and I know there's good, and I know there's highest. We're sheeple. We're sheeple. And thy rod and thy staff, you comfort us. Mother, Father, God, Holy Spirit. Keep away from us anything and everything that would harm us. Don't spare that rod. Just keep it away. I don't care how much we say we want it. No. Hook us, bring us back to the fold. Those crevices we get stuck in and can't get out of. Lead us by the green pastures and the still waters. This is a prayer of sufficiency, enoughness everywhere. Those financial matters being handled in sometimes the most mysterious ways. Mercy and grace. We say thank you for the reconciliation, for the forgiveness, for the transcendence. Thank you for the clarity, the guidance, the direction, the doors of opportunity that are opening up that we didn't even know were there to knock on. Thank you for the support. Everywhere present, we're never alone. Thank you for the sanity and the civility. Say a special prayer for this nation. Open our eyes. Open our eyes. That we be good and faithful global citizens. That our presence is a blessing all over the world. That we be a beacon of light, of compassion and fairness and justice. That we use all of our might and our power to make this a better world. This is what I know. We stand in this, we breathe it. Thank you for blessing this spiritual community. Thank you for blessing our own houses and our own circumstances. All needs met. It is good. It is great. It is grand. It is glorious. We get out of the way. We release this word unto the perfect law, knowing it does not and cannot return to us void, fulfilled herein. And so it is. So it is. Amen. Amen.